everyone! Today, I want to share a story that made me cry. A day when my heart felt like a piece was missing. The day I lost Max, my beloved dog. It was one of the saddest moments in my life, but also a story of hope and love. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more stories. And if you've ever lost something special and found it again, let me know in the comments below. Now let's start the story. It all started like any other normal day. That morning, Max was as energetic as ever. The moment I picked up his leash, he jumped around in excitement, wagging his tail like crazy. All right, Max. I know you're excited. Let's go. I laughed as I clipped the leash onto his collar. We walked to the park, just like we always did. The sun was warm, the breeze was gentle, and everything felt peaceful. Max loved the park. He would run in circles, sniff every tree, and greet every dog he saw. He was the friendliest little dog ever. After playing for a while, I sat down on a bench to rest. Max was still running around, his ears flopping up and down as he chased a butterfly. I smiled, watching him. Silly Max, you'll never catch it, I thought. Since he always stayed close, I decided to check my phone for just a second. Just 1 second. But when I looked up, Max was gone. I froze. My heart started pounding. Max! I called, scanning the area. No response. I stood up, looking around frantically. He was nowhere to be seen. Max! Come here. Boy! Max! Still nothing. That's when I felt it. A sinking feeling in my chest. Something was wrong. Max never ran off like this. And at that moment, panic hit me like a wave. My heart started racing. Where was Max? I ran to the spot where he was just playing a moment ago. Nothing. No paw prints, no sign of him. Max, come here. Boy! I called, my voice shaking. I ran to the big oak tree, his favorite spot to dig. He wasn't there. I checked behind the park benches, near the playground, even under the picnic tables. Still no Max. By now, my hands were trembling. My legs felt weak, but I couldn't stop searching. People were walking their dogs, jogging, chatting with friends. It was just another normal day for them. But for me, it was turning into a nightmare. I ran up to a woman with a golden retriever. "Excuse me, have you seen a small brown dog?" "His name is Max," I asked. Breathless, she shook her head. "Sorry, sweetie, I haven't." I ran to an old man sitting on a bench. He was watching his little poodle sniffing the grass. "Sir, did you see a small dog run by? He's about this big, with floppy ears and a red collar." I gestured with my hands, trying to describe Max. He scratched his chin.
I think I saw a small dog running that way, towards the parking lot."
The parking lot. My stomach twisted. What if someone took him? I didn't even thank the man. I just ran. My legs burned as I sprinted across the park, weaving through people, nearly tripping over a toddler chasing a balloon. When I reached the parking lot, I stopped, gasping for air. "Max!" I called again, my voice echoing through the rows of cars. Nothing. Just silence. I felt my eyes sting. My throat tightened. Was Max really gone? I walked home in silence. My legs felt heavy, my heart even heavier. Max was gone. The thought kept repeating in my head, over and over. I tried to push it away, but the emptiness beside me, where Max should have been, made it impossible. When I stepped inside my house, everything felt different. Max usually ran to the door, barking excitedly, his little paws tapping against the floor. But now, there was only silence. I dropped onto the couch and buried my face in my hands. What do? I whispered to myself. Then, a thought hit me. I can't just sit here. I jumped up and grabbed my laptop. I needed to let people know Max was missing. I quickly scrolled through my phone, searching for my favorite picture of him. One where he was sitting on my bed, his tongue sticking out like he was smiling. I opened a document and typed in big, bold letters. "Lost dog, please help." I added Max's picture, my phone number, and a short description. Small brown dog, floppy ears, red collar, last seen at the park, friendly but might be scared. Please call if you see him. I printed dozens of copies and grabbed some tape. Then, I ran outside. I put up posters everywhere, on streetlights, bus stops, near the park, at the grocery store. I also posted online, asking people to share. Each time I stuck a poster to a pole, I whispered, "Someone has to see this. Someone has to find him." By the time I got home, it was dark. My arms were sore, my fingers sticky from the tape. But none of that mattered. Because when I lay down in bed that night, Max's spot was empty. I reached out and touched the cold sheets where he used to sleep. Tears welled up in my eyes. "Please, Max, come back home." And with that final thought, I closed my eyes, hoping that tomorrow someone would call. The next morning, I woke up feeling exhausted. My eyes were puffy, and my heart still felt heavy. I reached for my phone immediately. No calls, no messages. My chest tightened. Did anyone even see my posters? I couldn't just wait. I had to do more. Throwing on my jacket, I grabbed my bag and ran out the door. I went back to the park, checking every corner. "Now, Max!" I walked through the nearby streets, calling his name. No answer. I even asked the local store owners, "Have you seen a small brown dog with floppy ears?" Each time, I got the same sad shake of the head. Hours passed. My voice was hoarse from calling his name. My feet ached. The sun was setting again. I felt like I was running out of hope. Then, my phone rang. I nearly dropped it in my rush to answer. "Hello?" I said, breathless. A woman's voice came through. "Hi, is this Mia? I saw your poster. I think I might have seen your dog." My heart jumped. "Where? Where did you see him?" "Near the old bookstore. About 10 minutes ago. He was sniffing around. But when I tried to get close, he ran off." I didn't even let her finish. I was already sprinting down the street. The bookstore. I knew the place. It was a quiet street, not too far from home. "Please, please still be there," I whispered as I ran, my breath coming in quick gasps. When I reached the bookstore, I scanned the area frantically. At first, I didn't see anything, but then, a small shadow near the alley. A familiar shape. A wagging tail. "Max!" I screamed. "Max!" The moment his name left my lips, the small figure near the alley froze. For a split second, he just stood there, ears perked up, tail still. Then he turned. Our eyes met. It was Max. Tears filled my eyes as I dropped to my knees. "Max, it's me. Come here." "Boy." For a moment, he hesitated. He looked smaller, his fur a little dirty, his red collar slightly loose. Then, his tail started wagging, and he ran, straight into my arms. "Oh, Max, I missed you so much," I sobbed, holding him tight. He licked my face, his tiny body shaking against me. I could feel his heart racing, just like mine. I buried my face in his soft fur. "You're safe now. You're home." People passing by probably thought I was crazy, crying and laughing in the middle of the street. But I didn't care. Max was back. I carried him all the way home, afraid to let him go even for a second. The moment we stepped inside, he ran to his water bowl, drinking noisily before flopping onto his favorite spot on the couch, like he'd never been gone. I sat beside him, stroking his back, feeling his warmth. "You scared me." "You know," I whispered. Max just looked at me with those big, innocent eyes, then licked my hand. I laughed softly. Yeah, I forgive you." That night, as I lay in bed, Max curled up beside me like he always did. His small, steady breathing filled the room. I closed my eyes, finally at peace. Max was home, and that was all that mattered.